Hold on, let me turn my volume up. I decided to end the music early. Okay, 27 people in here. Yes, mind over matter. Yes, the strawberry letter. Leave a heart if you can, if you know about the strawberry letter. Steve Harvey, when he had a radio show, the strawberry letter was extremely popular, where people would send in their confessions and they would read it, all types of crazy stuff. So her name is Shirley Strawberry, the strawberry letter. And she works for Steve Harvey. She's still employed, right? Well, I have some tea to spill today. Hopefully it's not true, but the articles are out about it. So I'll still say allegedly, even though the articles are out, until I know one, like, she's popular. She's not like celebrity, but she's known in the radio, arena and everything like that. So, I mean, this article came out and I want to share it with you about what's going on. Okay, so again, Steve Harvey, morning show co-host Shirley Strawberry's husband, is charged with pedo charges. Now, the energy I get from him a little bit is a little bit of some sugar in the tank. Now, I'm not saying it's true, but it's what I feel, what I see. And I'm not always right. So if I'm wrong, sorry. I don't know if this child or these children are boys or girls. In today's world, you never know. We always get surprised, don't we? So that's her right there. That's her right there with her husband. And I am sickened with what I'm going to share with you. First of all, with what he's allegedly guilty of and what she is doing to protect him, or tried to. Okay? Let's go into the article. Let me see. Give me a second. I want to make this picture kind of smaller. Put it over there. Okay. All right. So again, this was reported, an article by Gerald Jackson yesterday. Gerald Jackson up top. So if you want to see the source of where I got this from, Gerald Jackson. Okay. Yesterday. Okay. It says that word at the Fulton County's DA's office. Shirley Strawberry's husband, Ernesto Williams, is facing 4 counts of sexual, because you can't say certain words on here, sexual exploitation involving a child. And we haven't heard a strawberry letter about this on the Steve Harvey Morning Show yet. What's even shocking is, according to the prosecutors, Shirley told her husband he could go to Dubai and stay at Steve Harvey's house to dodge the charges. I repeat, she told her husband, go to Dubai at Steve Harvey's home to dodge these charges. Not, did my husband do it? Did he have relations with children? Are these children okay? Have they been physically damaged, mentally damaged, emotionally damaged? None of that. Hell, go on, baby. Go to Dubai. I'm gonna get you at Steve Harvey's house. We're gonna safe house you. You're not going to jail. Now, Mrs. Haynes says this means Steve Harvey is a creep also. Not necessarily. He might not even know what's going on. People lie, could say, look, my husband needs somewhere to stay. This is not really out there yet. This was just reported yesterday. So he might not know. Okay. Let's hope Steve Harvey is worried about who Lori Harvey is in bed with instead of trying to provide housing to an alleged pedo. All right. It says that a bond hearing for Williams was held June 26th. So, there's usually court documents online and stuff. A bond hearing for Williams was held on June 26th. Prosecutors did not go into the alleged accusations they accuse Williams of, but say he faces at least 4 counts of sexual exploitation and is about to be hit with at least 15 more serious felony charges. Krell Lewis, the attorney for her husband, tried his hardest to speak in codes during the bond hearing conducted on Zoom. Lewis said his client was accused of having a single nude photo on his computer, and prosecutors allege it was a child. However, prosecutors said more charges are coming that involve children. Hold on, okay? During the bond hearing, prosecutors alleged that Williams, her husband, had a girlfriend who lives in Florida and could flee to her home to avoid facing the crimes he allegedly committed. Okay, so he's married to her, Shirley Strawberry, but he also has a girlfriend that lives in Florida and could flee to her home to escape the charges. What? Okay. The judge ordered Williams, her husband, to be placed on an ankle monitor, not leaving Fulton County, surrender his passport, have no internet access, and to stay away from his alleged side piece girlfriend, Melanie Scretchen, and his wife, Shirley Strawberry. The judge, get this now too. The judge also ordered her husband to stay away from children and animals. So allegedly there's something involving animals as well. And I know this can shock a lot of people, but we've been seeing more and more Black men being exposed for bestiality. People always say it's a white man thing and woman thing. That's not true. That's not true. It happens all over the globe. Men sleeping with sheep out of desperation or just being mentally sick, but sleeping with sheep, their dogs, their cats, all types of stuff. So yes, the judge has ordered him to not only stay away from children, but to also stay away from animals. So she wanted to protect her husband from these charges and allegations, these charges against him involving multiple children and animals. Come on, baby, let's send you to Steve Harvey and Mallory or Marjorie's Dubai house. Again, that doesn't mean that Steve Harvey or his wife are aware of the charges, because people can lie to you all the time and say, I need some place to stay. Can I come visit you? Let me come by. And they're not telling you they're trying to escape the law. People do that all the time. So I'm not going to say that Steve is aware of it or his wife, but instead of her being concerned about the children and the animals and letting her man face these charges like a man, because if her husband is so innocent, then what you scared for? If you know and you believe without a shadow of a doubt, if you believe, yes, thank you, Monas. Yes, I'm hoping it grows even more. If you believe without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that your husband is not a pedophile, then you'll let him go to the court. Like, you know what? Go ahead. Let him face the charges, because we all know he doesn't do things like that. We have evidence that he's innocent. My husband is innocent. The lawyers are going to get him off. He has not done these things. Not go into a panic and try to send him outside of the country to Dubai, to Steve Harvey's house, to escape charges. Because within her soul, she believes he's probably guilty of being involved with children or animals. And what does it say about women like this who protect men? Now, it is very common in the Black community, as quiet as it's kept. There are a number of Black women in the Black community who protect pedophile and aurists, husbands and boyfriends. These are the type of women who their husband or boyfriend could be R-ing and molesting their daughters, and they don't protect their daughters or their sons. They'll blame their daughters or sons. They will protect these men. They will stay married to them. They don't want to lose these men. It's all about her and her relationship or what he has. He might have money and they don't want to get rid of him, or they don't want to start over in life. So they're just so desperate to keep a man that they don't give a damn truly if he's guilty or not. Even when it comes to their own children, these women are demons in the flesh. They're just as cruel and nasty and disgusting as their partner. And they don't love children. They don't love children. They don't want to protect children. And it's one of the silent, nasty things covered up in the Black community that has gone on for decades and continues to go on with a lot of these women. I mean, there's a movie on it called Woman Art Thou Loose? Hold on. Was it that? With Kimberly, where the mother was protecting her boyfriend who did that to the daughter. Then the daughter murked him at the church. So if this is true, even though, I mean, we can look up the court documents, June 26th, he went to court for alleged these crimes, has an ankle monitor, can't go on the internet. His passport has been taken from him and all of that. He tried to maybe go to his other girlfriend's, his side piece home to escape charges or go to Dubai. She was going to send it. Maybe she was scared this was going to get out to the public and she would be embarrassed. But she's a public figure still. So this is terrible if this is true. Absolutely terrible. Now, I will say that we do have some real ones, though, who don't stand by this. This woman, this amazing woman, Shantira Weems, this happened a few months ago. I have to be careful with words I use, but you can see it up here. S-H-O-T, her husband, who allegedly molests multiple children at the daycare. The parents had called with the complaints and everything like that. She confronted her husband at the hotel. Something happened in there. Maybe he confessed and she got the you know what out and went to work on him. She's currently sitting in jail. She doesn't have an extreme amount of jail time, but she did get sent to jail. I have her information of where she was sent because I wanted to share that in the future if anybody wants to help her out. But she didn't stand for it. She didn't stand for it. So we do have Black women who do not stand for this type of stuff. And I think it's disgusting that they would send her to jail after her husband did these things to little children at a daycare. So I just wanted to show one Black woman who is not about that, who does not support men doing that to children. But this woman on the left apparently does. Also, she's from the South. And we know that most Black women from the South identify as Christian. So I wanted to share this from the Bible when it comes to bestiality. And we know that, well, being involved with children is disgusting and very morally and nasty and physically wrong, okay, and damaging physically to the child, emotionally and mentally to the child. Okay, it says the Bible mentions bestiality in 4 different passages. In Exodus 22:19, it says, anyone who has Relations with an animal, SCX, relations with an animal must be put to death. Leviticus 18:23 says, do not have relations with an animal and defile yourself with it. A woman must not present herself to an animal to have relations with it. This is a perversion. Leviticus 20:15-16 commands, if a man has relations with an animal, he must be put to death, and you must take out the animal. If a woman approaches an animal to have relations with it, take out both the woman and the animal. They must be unalive. Their blood will be on their own heads. Deuteronomy 27:21 agrees and says, cursed is the man who has relations with any animal, SCX relations. From these verses, it's abundantly clear that according to the Bible, bestiality is a horrible, unnatural, and abominable sin. You know, I think pedophilia is disgusting. Bestiality is disgusting. I always feel for both the children and the animals because, you know, an animal has a little hole. You're hurting the baby, the animal. You're hurting the human baby. You're hurting their insides and all of that. And a little child, an underage person can't fully consent. Of course they can. They can't. You know, even if they're like 16 and you know, you're like, well, they got more sense than an 11-year-old, but they're still children. Their mind hasn't developed. You put them at risk for underage pregnancy and diseases and things like that. And it's just disgusting to me. So I wanted to share this story with you. I don't have a lot of details, but this is what I do have. And I'm sure more articles about this will be coming out. Okay. Again, June 26th, he had went to court, ordered again, an ankle monitor, no access to children or the internet. This was kind of hush, hush, hush. And the article came out yesterday about it. So shame on Shirley Strawberry for trying to protect her husband from these charges, not protecting children or animals, okay, trying to get him sent over to Dubai to be housed or go into his girlfriend's house. I mean, women like this are mentally ill and just evil to me. You know, I would take it very serious if my husband had allegations of molesting multiple children and are animals. Like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Well, I have to say allegedly R-ing an animal. I don't know what he was doing with the animals, but the judge told him to stay away from animals too. So this is disgusting. And shame on both of them if this is all true. And if anything were to come out to be untrue, you have my apologies. But this is the article that came out. So I just wanted to share this with you, y'all. Terrible. Y'all all have a very good afternoon. Bye, everyone.